Inspired by the early traditions of golf, the courses you'll see today were molded into golf course masterpieces by their architects, Heather Glenn and Glen Dornick. The holes at Glen Dornick were built one at a time, keeping with respect for the land. The 3 closing holes are the most talked about in Myrtle Beach. We start today at the truly beautiful Glen Dornick Golf Course on Links Illustrated.
From Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the golf capital of the world, welcome to Links Illustrated with your host, Hugh Royer.
Well, if you want beauty and intimidation all in one package, you get it right here on the 18th hole at Glen Dornick. Look at this. We've got marsh. The clubhouse is way up there. You've got the intercoastal over here on the left. We have the fairway that goes up here to the right. Now, there is fairway across the marsh here, but it's only 320 yards from here. Don't think I can get there. Up to the right here, we've got 280 yards all the way through the fairway. I really don't want to try to push that envelope because it just doesn't fit. So I'm going to get rid of my driver. I've got my hybrid and I've got my 3-wood. It just depends on where you want to try to put the ball on this hole. We've got trees that overhang right here to the right. We've got the marsh short and to the left. This hole is going to basically make you make the decision of, do I want to hit a cut? Do I want to try to draw it? Or do I want to hit it straight? I'm going to take a 3-wood. I'm going to try to hit it about 245 yards up the fairway so that I can have a clean, straight shot to the green across the marsh to the left. I really don't want to try to hit a cut because if I overcut it and I get too far this way, I'm even further from the hole. I don't want to try to draw it. I'm really going to just try to hit it straight, nice and smooth up that fairway. Try to find that short grass up there so that I can try to attack the green and see if I can't get it close to the flag. Right in the middle of the fairway, perfect. The ball's going to go wherever it's going to go, whether you swing smooth or whether you swing hard. So try to give it your best effort, nice and smooth, trust your technique, and put it in the fairway. I've gotten the ball into the fairway, the left center of the fairway, and actually thought it was perfect, and it is. The only issue is if it was about 5 to 8 yards shorter, I would have trouble with this tree right here. So the beauty of my job and being able to explain to you about these golf courses and the different shots is to be able to show you that when you come here to play at Glen Dornick, you'll know exactly what's going on here at 18 and not make the mistake of getting hung behind this tree. So like I talked about on the tee, the further I go up, the narrower it gets, but the further it moves away from the hole. Same as being a little shorter back here. Shorter is wider, and the tree won't be in the way, but I'll be even further from the hole. Right here, which I would consider to be a perfect position to shoot at this flag, I've still got 189 yards to this flag. It's a fairly long shot no matter, but obviously the further right and the further up you go, or the shorter you are, you're going to have even longer into this pin. And as you can see, this green is not real big. I mean, it's a joining green with the 18th, but it's very narrow up there. So fortunately, I've got it just far enough to where I can shoot it just right of this flag at the right side of the green, just inside the bunkers. The wind's coming in and right to left. For me, a person that plays a draw, this is a perfect setup. I couldn't ask for it to be any better. 189 yards. I've got a 4-iron in my hand simply because it's into the wind slightly and right to left. I hit my 4-iron around 200, so I should be right in the ball game with my distance control here. I'm going to aim it just to the right of that flag, just right of the red stake up here, and try to right side of that green and hopefully have it turn over right in there by the pin. perfect. The wind got it at the last minute. I thought I hung it out to the right. I got lucky. Understand when you're hitting off the tee, you're playing from the teeing area, how far you want to hit it and where you want to try to put it. I know to most people you're like, okay, yeah, right, like I know where it's going to go. You still got to have an idea and a target, and that's the whole purpose of what we've talked about here, is trying to put the ball in an area that we feel like we can get it and control it and be able to get it on that green. Remember, control your distances, always have a target, and then trust your golf swing.
Links Illustrated is brought to you in part by MyrtleBeachGolf.com, golfers' #1 resource for everything Myrtle Beach golf.
I tell you, there's no doubt why everyone talks about the final 3 holes here at Glen. 17th hole, this tee shot, the green, it just looks like a little patch sitting up there in the middle of the marsh. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've got this tree in front of me. This one is somewhat in the way, but it's more visual than it is being in the way of the actual shot. But you can see the waterway, all the marsh, incredible. I have 200 yards, and 200 yards to that little sliver can be extremely, extremely intimidating. So again, like we've said before, and like you'll hear the rest of your life when you watch television, trust what you're doing, trust your yardage, know exactly how far you can hit your golf clubs to be able to pull this shot off and to not add any more stress to your life. The pin's in the back right over here. It's over the tree. You've got bunkers and a big hill over here to the right, so I definitely don't want to try to hit it into those because they're fairly deep. I'm going to try to take this ball, hit it just over the left-hand side of this tree, and cut the ball to the back right of this green. Again, I'm going to start into the fat of the green and work it towards the pin. If it doesn't work towards the pin, my mistake is in the fat part of the green and give me a chance to 2-putt and get out of here. Because obviously a 3 on this gorgeous hole is well worth the trouble. So, better get my thoughts together here. Nice and smooth. Little left, but safe. On the green, we'll try to 2-putt, make our 3, and then we'll head on to the tough 18th hole. On so many of our shows, we show you how to hit different golf shots, play holes in different ways. Today, I just want to get into the basic fundamental, so-called boring things of golf that they have to be a part of your everyday routine when you play golf. Not having a proper grip, posture, stance, alignment, it can throw everything off, and just one little error, it can make a huge difference in your shot. So to get started, the main thing I want to talk about first is the grip. You see a lot of players, they have strong grips where the left hand is way over, right hand's under, the club will get shut at the top. It causes a severe hook or a quick hook. You have others that have a very weak grip and they get this way and the club gets open. Therefore, the ball wants to slice and it becomes a lot of arms and hands because your wrists really can't work properly the way we'd like for them to. What I'm going to show you today is more of a neutral grip where everything can work together. We can sync up your golf swing along with the club, your arms, and your hand. So to do this, the main thing is you don't want to get the club into the palm of your hand like so. So if you see here, I've got it up into my palm. If I grip it, I can't hinge my wrist properly without having to let go to let the club. So if the club gets hinged and I let go of it, I've got to re-grip it. Well, if I re-grip it, here it goes, okay? So the main thing is you've got to get it into your fingers. Well, to do so, there's a couple of different ways. You can put the club across in front of you this way, and basically you just sort of milk the grip to where you get it into your fingers. So as you can see, it's into my fingers. The pad of my left hand fits on top of this grip. Thumb is down the middle of the grip. There are no gaps, okay? You can also do it by putting the club behind you like so. doing the same thing, milking it to get it into your fingers, and then you can bring it around in front of you. The tricky part's the right hand. Some people interlock, some people overlap. The only time that I will advocate using an interlock grip is if you have very small hands with very short fingers, okay? Jack Nicklaus's one had very short fingers. The overlap, the little finger just lays over the left hand. Interlock is where you basically intertwine them. The key to your right hand is to make sure when you grip it that you get it into the fingers of the right hand, not up into your palm, down here in your fingers. If you touch your little finger and your thumb together, you can see this line here, this heart line, lifeline, I can't remember what they exactly call it, but you can see the crease in your hand. That fits right on the knuckle of your left hand. So by doing so, you can see this here, right on that knuckle, no gaps in my grip whatsoever. There's no big gap in my left hand, as you can see here. My left thumb is covered. Too many people, you see them grip it and you see their left thumb like so, or you don't want to see that. You want to cover it so that your hands fit together just like two puzzle pieces. That makes it very simple, and that way they can work as one unit. Nextly, what I want to talk to you about is posture. You see so many people when they set up to the ball, slouchy, very top heavy, legs seem to get straight, or you'll see them, they'll bend their knees too much, they get back into their heels. Just not a very athletic position, all right? We're going to treat this just like we're playing linebacker, whether we're playing shortstop or second base, so that we can get into an athletic position on the balls of our feet. So by doing this, the easiest way to do this is if I stand straight up, my feet are shoulder width apart, I'm going to let my hands hang directly down from my shoulders. What I'm going to do, as I bend my knees, all right, I'm not going to bend and have my rear end go underneath me. I'm going to feel like I'm sitting my rear end on the edge of a bar stool. But while doing this, I'm going to push down on this shaft, and as soon as it grabs change or golf tees in your pocket, as soon as it hits, you know this is your posture. So you can see here that I am over the balls of my feet. I'm in an athletic position. If somebody were to come push me, I'm not going anywhere. If I'm into my heels and somebody pushes me, I'm going to fall back, and the same if somebody pushes me the other direction. So an athletic position that will allow you to move in an athletic golf swing. So remember, stand straight up, lock your knees, club hangs straight down. As you bend your knees and your rear end out, you push down as soon as it catches, and you'll be able to tell if this is correct because your knees will be right over your shoelaces. So remember, basic fundamentals are the starting point for the proper golf swing and executing good golf shots.
Links Illustrated is brought to you in part by the Waccamaw Golf Trail. 12 spectacular golf courses designed by the world's most celebrated architects. Located just south of Myrtle Beach, the Waccamaw Golf Trail is a journey through historic plantations, natural beauty, and southern hospitality.
I want you to sit back, take notes, and listen, because this is a strategy portion that will help you play par threes in different situations on the golf course itself. Today we happen to be on the 8th hole at Heather Glen, and you can see the back left of the green is further away from the tee, and it moves towards the front right, which gets closer. The issue is here, the trees on the right hang out, so it would cause you, if you're on the right side of this tee, to have to work your way more around the tees. I have positioned myself over here on the left side of the tee box to be able to have a straight view at the flag and to be able to hit a nice little cut shot into that front right. I've got 190 yards. We have a pond in front. We have bunkers, deep bunkers in the back, pot bunkers, and one on the front left. So right here, being able to stand here, I can get my line, my target in front of the ball so I can spot aim to be able to hit my shot clearly at that flag. If I was over here to the right, I would have to work on trying to work the ball more into the flag, where here I've got a straighter shot right into the flag stick. So here we go, 190 yards, little downwind, slightly downhill. Wow, that worked out pretty good. When you get to the tee, look at what the positions are and what's in front of you. You don't want to put yourself on the right-hand side like we talked about here, where the trees come in, they kind of get in the way and you feel like you're having to work around them. Come over to the far left-hand side, it opens up the hole, you can see the pin, the trees look like they're well off to the right, and Lord knows, in the low country of South Carolina, you get trees in your way a lot. So try to get yourself in a position where you don't even have to think about them. All you have to do is try to execute your shot, try to make your birdie, and at least get out of here with a par. Wow, what a bunker. If you haven't been able to get to Scotland, or you don't have the means to go over to Scotland and play golf, you need to come to Heather Glen, because this bunker right here is exactly like something that you were encountering at St. Andrews, Prestwick, or Troon. Just an incredible bunker. Thank goodness they've got an 8-foot flag up there so I can at least see the top of the flag. These bunkers are phenomenal, and it's a great test, kind of the old school golf from the old days. When you put yourself in this kind of situation, you've got to understand a couple of things that are very, very crucial to being able to complete this shot. When you set up, you've got to set up with your feet open and wide. You've got to give yourself the stability in your legs to be able to swing your arms really quick. The club has got to swing fast to be able to get it up and to carry it, okay? The last thing you want to do is to hit it fat and have it hit there and roll back in, or to scull it into the hill and have the same thing happen. So by setting up here, I'm going to open the club face, and you can see how open I have this. I've set my weight slightly left, about 60% on my left foot. My knees are wide. This club is going to hinge straight up, and I'm going to swing it as fast and as hard as I can, making sure that I hit about 1.5 inches to 2 inches behind this ball. The reason this shot is, it's hard, but the reason it's not so hard is the simple fact that you never have to hit this ball. You're going to hit the sand. The sand is what's going to throw it up there towards the flag. So remember, wide knees, open stance, slightly wide, set your weight left, open that club face, and slam the heel right into that sand. And out it comes. So try this technique. I promise you, the more stable you can stay with your legs and swing your arms and allow the bounce on this sand wedge to work for you, the more successful you'll be out of bunkers. You can see I'm on the 18th hole at Heather Glen. I'm looking at this gorgeous British style clubhouse, and now I'm trying to figure out what to do because my ball's on the upslope of this mound. The one thing that you've got to understand, you don't want to take less club, or the actual club you can hit the yardage, which I have 142 yards, because if I hit it hard, I could easily stick the club in the ground, hit it fat, where it would either go in the water or be short of the green somewhere. What we're going to do is we're going to take an 8-iron. It's more than enough club to get to the flag, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up, I'm going to choke down on the club slightly, and I'm going to set up with my weight leaning with this hill. So I'm leaning back more towards the camera. I'm not leaning against the hill because that's going to make me even stick the club in the ground faster, okay? So the main idea is to understand you're going to hit the ball higher. The wind's blowing a little bit into me and right to left, but that's fine. I've taken enough club to where it should combat that little bit of breeze up there that it can affect the ball. So again, choke slightly up, lean with the hill. Don't lean against it. Lean with the hill and swing up the hill nice and smooth. Well, I pushed it slightly, but it is on the green. I've given myself an opportunity to try to make a putt and at least salvage a par out of this. So remember, lean with the hill, don't lean against it. Try to swing up the hill and finish your shot facing your target. It may not be perfect, but at least you'll give yourself the opportunity to salvage a very awkward situation.
Links Illustrated is brought to you in part by teeuptomorrow.com. Log on today and tee up tomorrow.
The natural beauty of the gigantic pine trees as well as the old oak trees, the old English-style clubhouse adds to the allure of Glendornoch and Heather Glen golf courses. They both showcase the elegance of Scottish golf as well as Myrtle Beach golf courses. You're better off playing them sooner than later. I hope the golf instruction that we gave you today will help you. If you will grasp it and practice it, I promise you it will help you lower scores and play better golf. So until next time, remember, fairways, greens, and one putt on Links Illustrated.